Alright, hello everybody, welcome to VR Master League here. We're in Season 2, we're in Week 8. And it's a week that's great. I don't know, that's the easy one, but had to make it. So, welcome to the stream. We have a couple back-to-back games, which is what couple implies, but we got Universe 7 facing against Real Speed here. And about 30 minutes from now, we also have another match here between a challenge match, actually, Alpha Protocol versus Lost. Kind of start out our day here in the Americas for the streams. Have lots of matches coming along as well, starting, well, right now, but also on Channel 1 here at the top of the next hour. Hour and a half from now, that is to say. We'll have Ding versus Invictus starting off. Sir Dimwee and Subtlety will be casting and camming that one. And a lot of matches, including the Girlettes versus Shrunk here on Channel 2. Got Galaxy and Turbo later on, Cosmic Kitties and Team Amoeba, and Baked versus Technique. And those are the Channel 2 games. Over on Channel 1, it's Ding versus Invictus. We have Barrage versus Schlart Team, Illuminati versus Frostbite, and Synapse versus King Gorillas. So a lot of exciting stuff on the way. Do stay tuned for that. And just as well, Underrated Rookies and Flatliners a little bit later. So, you got choices, and that is correct. Midget 2111. You do smell a Palidore. How does it smell? Hopefully not too bad. But yeah, teams have been pinged, ponged over in the Discord. And yeah, they can start as they please. Hopefully soon here. But it will be Universe 7 coming in. Silver Division currently. I've been playing it for a few weeks here as a roster, but with a lot of success, as you can see. Coming in 6-0. 6 wins, 0 losses, that is to say. So a lot of success here in their initial weeks. But this is going to be most definitely a big test for them here against a team like Real Speed, coming in the Gold Division with a 12-5 record. So we'll see. We'll see what this one has to offer as we do begin round 1. But again, lots of success for Universe 7. But this is going to be the test for them. And to see if they can keep that streak alive and keep the dream alive. Speaking of dream, well, they have one here in Universe 7. It's Matt, Dream, Ooga Booga, and 007. Over on Real Speed's side, we've got Octavius Rex, Eric Medina, Gold, and CT. I don't smell bad at all. Thank you. That's great. I use iRush Spring. Hello to iRush there in the chat. As well as the Moose. The Moose. There are many mooses, but only one of that particular one. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you guys. As this match does get underway, it's going to be tapped back and forth here. Neither team gaining all too much control. Up high, it's going to be brawls from Gold. Meanwhile, Octavius, off a short boost, is able to collect that. Now, slung it towards his teammate there to Gold and was able to receive that one. A pass up top to the Peck and right back to CT. So some spacing here, very nice from Real Speed's side. Coming in hot, and there's the first shot. All right. So we got 2 points from Gold, assisted by CT. That was some nice patient plays they used and just passing to work it all the way up the floor. Nice and calm and easy. So a good start for them, for sure. All right, so Universe 7. First offensive joust here. Seeing what they rolled out with, just avoiding that stack, but the stack does maintain and does manage to get back into the defensive end. So right back in position, using that speed to their advantage, as Universe 7 tries to create an advantage with a little bit of juking from Ooga Booga. Setting it to Dream now. Now Dream's going to work it in from that corner, walk it right through as he gets the stun. Dream definitely kept alive. Universe 7 ties it up about 2 minutes into this first round. Yeah, the thing here with Universe 7 as well, that bears mentioning, aside of the 6-0 record, they've also just been scoring really, really hot. Their last 4 games now, 2 of them were 2-rounders, 2 of them were 3-rounders, but in all 4 of their last 4 games, they were all 30-plus point scoring efforts from them. So a high-scoring team against their opponents, leading the charge kind of heavily in that fashion. So very interesting to see how they pull it out here with the offense and kind of see if we get more of that 30-point effort, or we just see Real Speed manage to close it off and cut them down to size a little bit. Real Speed's been an impressive team, hence why they've ended up here in the Gold Division as one of the rookie teams of this league, one of the many rookie teams, but also one of the more impressive ones. And I always go to the list, and I'm always hesitant because I'm scared of missing a team. But there are several rookie teams. Real Speed is one of them that just don't cease to amaze week by week, and just how good they're getting and how fast it's come. Right now, coming in with a Joker train, but that train will be derailed as CT tries for a clear. A bit of an awkward interaction there, will lose the disc. So it gets right back to Ooga Booga, has it stolen, but back again it's Dream. So a lot of grabs and re-grabs on the disc, that is to say, as a dodge from Dream comes through, but now going for a second punch, and that might have been a little bit too bold, and that's going to result in the shot. Also paying dearly for that daring play. CT, the long 3. Now those ones hurt extra, so just again, you see the going for those kind of moves sometimes, as opposed to the passes, you will pay for it, especially the higher up the ladder you go. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes those kinds of moves, they have different moves depending on the region. In Americas for the longest time, people would call it the Ender. Over in Europe, it was the Angel move. Over in OCE, it's called the Dusty. Whatever you call it, trying to either shield or just kind of go for those stuns when you have the disc, and basically being aggressive as a QB can be good when you pull it out every now and then. Yeah, but you go to that well too often, and teams will adjust. They are too good, and then they'll make you pay for it, like they did in that last occasion there. With that said, some good speed, some boost coming in here. Gold gets that disc, has the not the open 3, rather the very closed off 3. My mistake, I didn't even see that goalie in there at first. So good job by Universe 7 to collect that. But that said, Real Speed here on the other end, they're going to get that without too much of a sweat, as the defense just all kind of sits there at mid before diving out here. And interesting self-pass there, Eric Medina. A clear now into the orange bubble. Will bounce right off. So Dream with the disc, gonna just play it carefully if they can and look for some more scoring. Only 2 points so far in the first 5 minutes, 5 points for Real Speed here. So neither team pulling ahead by all too much, and the game definitely slowing down. Now Universe 7 trying to play it patiently, which always a good move. Granted, a lot easier to do, as that could have been in had it not been grabbed by CT. So some of these long bounces, man. Talk about things that people are getting very, very good at. Those bounces are one of them. There's nowhere to put it. Just like that pass. They put it in, but taking it out. Eric Medina. That was a great save. Not unusual at all for him. Last time around, last couple times I've streamed him, as they go for a deep 3. Talk about online on stream. That one flowing like a river, making the defenses shiver, and as well as Palidore. 8-2, 4 minutes left, and Real Speed hitting some big 3s. CT, the range, my goodness, right at home. in that deep line. Call it home on the range, I guess. But Dream here going to send it over to Ooga Booga. Needs to be careful for that stack in the back line. They're gathered together. Got some regrabs in and right back in it. So I do like that from Real Speed. You know, the offense has been nice. Those threes have been nice, but they're getting back on the defense fast, just like that. CT, another grab right out of the mitts, right through the air. There's the collection. There's the shot. A bit rushed there, and unfortunately on that, opportunity won't convert, but can't blame him too much because that guy has been shooting hot for this series so far. So Will actually stun. CT getting a stun there, trying to get the disc back just as well, though. Dream contesting, and now a nice leech from CT, but doesn't even need it because Gold's there in the midfield and tries to distribute over to the corner. CD Money hopping in as well as Poliwrath. Well, hello, I'm Poliwrath. Right now showing some wrath on the shot, but going to be off and up to the rafters on the rebound. It's Dream. Ooh, trying for the spin, but couldn't get it in. Now up high they do have double O, but that's a double no because that's going to be cleared out after the brawls here. CT now another three, but this time the island there, that's little tiny dot getting in the way as they go back for the collection. But Dream taking that and now looking for that lane. Too high on that attempt, but really had no time at all to waste because of all the defense in the tunnel with him. See Warinator in there. You're not late, you're right on time. At least for the rest of the 12 minutes. Right here, 007. 12 to 22 minutes, that is to say. Long game. And you know, right now it's a 4-point lead for Real Speed. Universe 7, though, still within reach. 007 doing a good job to keep them alive. They really did need that goal because it's been a rather lengthy scoring drought for them. So anything they can get, they will gladly take it. Still a chance here to come back. And for Real Speed's side, see if they can get real slow, you know, play out that clock a little bit because now they've got the nice point advantage and even just wasting, you know, 30 seconds here, 30 seconds on the next play. Maybe they don't even need to worry because that is almost in once and twice. Slapping it out is Ooga Booga. Man, those threes have been lethal or nearly lethal on just about every single attempt from Real Speed. So definitely, if you're Universe 7, you're having that in the back of your mind every single time that disc is on this side of the floor. So an intercept here over in the midfield. Octavius Rex, 1 minute, 17 seconds. And oh, there you go. About 30 seconds wasted off the clock based off of those. And now going to be a much, much nicer lead for them. Gold going for the win here in round 1. Trying to ice it down a little bit. 6-point advantage for Real Speed. 1 minute left. Not impossible still to come back, but much more difficult because it's just about going to necessitate Universe 7 goes for some very quick threes, meaning they're going to need to be very, very aggressive here on the launch and very aggressive on the goalkeepers. Now, I do like that there from Dream, even though he didn't get the stun. You see, didn't rush the pass too fast. You know, kind of waited for the stack to approach first to give him a chance to break up the stack. And on the other side of things, Dream still gets it back regardless. Going to take it in himself, and then right on to the goalie, right above the head. It's 6 points now for Universe 7. Getting another score there, but time, unfortunately, not going to be there for the comeback. But still keeping it really close, and that's a very fun first round here that Real Speed will take away. 10-6, barring any last-second goals, which are always a possibility. But let's see. Deep cross, a little bit off, and now that looks like that'll be it. So 10-6, Real Speed in round 1. Still a lot of clock to go, though. A lot of rounds to go, potentially, hoping for the third. But, yeah, a 4-point differential in the first will mean a lot of good feels for the side of the Reals. All right, so, yeah, Warinator complimenting the passes there. The passes, the shots, the speed, giving a little bit of everything. I mean, mentioned it for Universe 7 coming in with that 6-0 record and huge scoring margins in their last 4 games. Actually, I think I was misreading. All of their games here, they're scoring 30 points. Not even just the last 4, all 6. So, I mean, again, Universe 7, high-scoring team, highly successful in their limited weeks of action here as a roster. Yeah, 6 points in the first round. And then they still looked really good and kept it close, but just kind of, again, a testament to the talent of Real Speed here and how Real Speed was going to be a serious measuring stick for them here in the late season as the Universe 7 gets their wind beneath them a bit. So, yeah, kind of expected in the sense after all that success, you know, they're going to have some issues here with Real Speed, but the fact that it was kept so close is still supremely impressive in its own right. So that's going to be very, very interesting here in round 2 to see if they can kind of continue on that streak. You know, they built up a few more goals towards the end of that round there, and, well, let's see. Round 2 could be very, very different. And from the spectator standpoint, as per usual, I'm hoping that it is. Want to see these games go as long as possible. Of course, different story if you're the teams. I'm sure for Real Speed, they would love to just close this one out in a sweep. But no one wants that, except for them. Well, and Real Speed fans for sure. But always love those third rounds, those entertaining, competitive matches. This one has been exactly that so far. You have Matt here distributing over, some good passing being shown. Double O being stunned out by Octavius Rex. And you can see Octavius just playing kind of the midfield. Some nice positioning. Notice how he's kind of right between, for a lot of that play, right between the different passing options. Now, that said, kind of got away from him there. Tried to converge with his teammate. And not necessarily the wrong move there. It was a... But, you know, either way it could have gone. Usually, you know, when those pile-ups form, just trying to keep in position for passes, but nothing wrong with also going on a teammate as well, because had they gotten that and managed to clear, for instance. But over here would be Dream. That's just an instance of good scoring. Universe 7. So bringing it back home, and there's 2 points right on the board, but the question is, can they keep that going? Because we saw that in the first round where Universe 7 was able to score early there, but then kind of went on a little bit of a drought for a while. You know, struggled to get some points until the latter parts of that round. Meanwhile, for Real Speed, losing the disc to Matt. So Matt now also losing the disc to Gold, has a player attached for maybe a boost, but they both get stunned out, so it's going to buy some time over in the orange zone for Ooga Booga to retain the disc. One of the more favorite names of mine in the league. As that deep shot, man, so almost a Real Speed-like shot there from deep. That could have gone in, but nonetheless will be back out, slapping it into the midfield. Now there is a midfielder there, but receiving it is Gold. Gold's going to go for a clear just as well. Might turn into another one of those shots, and had it not been for that nest, could have gone in. Man, the long-range accuracy from they just know where to place it on the walls, on the ceilings. Doesn't matter. They're going to find some shot opportunities as a fly-through stun goes in. The pass goes through. The shot goes through. That was hit by Gold there. Now going off the body, the hands of Matt, perhaps, but was a shot from Gold to tie it up, and that was some nice interference being ran on the goalkeeper from Real Speed there. They're just really assaulting him and making it tough to just get a read on the disc. All right, so over to Ooga Booga. Gonna distribute that down low to the floor. That's going to go sail right past the hands, and now the goalie kind of deciding whether he wants to dive or not, opting to stay in the goal, recognizing teammates there, diving on the disc at the same time. In the midfield, some stuns going through, nicely done as well. You can see really prioritizing trying to break up the stack, but unfortunately, they're going to get broken up in the front line. So getting it back is Eric Medina, the immediate pass, knew where to put it, the comms on point, the points, well, on point, and it's 4-2 on the board. You see that quick reaction, though. All four players for Real Speed getting back quickly into the bubble on offense. You saw Eric Medina, that great assist. I mean, he got that disc. He immediately knew where to pass it. It was a turnaround and just a quick, direct heave to his player below the goal there, meaning the communication, the comms were definitely coming through on point with the the precision and the speed that they needed to be. That said, having it taken away but stealing it back, there's Gold with the disc. Gold right over there again to CT. He's trying to go for another bottom of the goal play for that pass. So you like to see that teamwork at work at the moment. Trying to make a stack work, 007 and Ooga. So that's going to roll all the way to the top trench where eventually CT retains. Tries to get a clear but has to kind of rush it because of all that aggressive defense being ran. And still yet a lot of interference brawls. You can see the positioning here from the Universe 7. very good. You know, they got one or two players kind of assaulting this front line. But then in the midfield, they've got players sort of in those tunnels hanging back, knowing that if it's going to be cleared, it's probably going to go in those directions. So positioned very nicely here for Universe 7. And you can see causing all kinds of havoc for Real Speed. But just the same, Real Speed causing some havoc with that quickness on that stack. Punching out the player for Universe 7 before it could even react. And almost doing it again there. So a little bit of a spin and a clear. Putting him through the washing machine and almost resulting in a self-pass of sorts, but that's going to go back to Universe 7. So finally able to gain maybe a little bit of control, at least a little bit of space, holding on to it for a little long. But you know what? A big shot, and that is strong for Dream to tie it up. Nearly saved as well, it looked like there. Turned blue just momentarily. But Universe 7 tied up with Real Speed here. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left. Very fun match. Very close match. Welcome to X-Wing in the chat also, as well as Go No Thing Die. Well, that's aggressive. But welcome to the chat there. Glad you guys are joining us. We'll be passed over here and actually just missed, so retained by Ooga Booga diving out the goal. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. And it's low-scoring second round, and these are the situations where, especially, with that lower score, it means every shot is more than likely going to be all the more important. Any of these shots could very well just be game winners, 4 minutes out. So will be interesting to follow this and see who comes out ahead. Now going for again, one of those dusty ender angels, whatever you want to call it. But the disc being held, the stun going out, bit risky. That said, Ooga Booga's still going to make him pay regardless. And they're going to go up by 2 points for Universe 7. Nice job on the recovery. And really good work getting it to the nest where, anytime you can get those passes anywhere towards the mid area, whether it's at nest, at barrier, or on a cutter in this general area, makes it very nice because as an offensive player, you have a lot of different options where you can shoot in that disc and place that disc. Can shoot at any corner, whereas if you're approaching with the disc from these corners, makes it a lot tougher because your angles are much more narrow, makes it easier for the goalie to save, makes it harder for you to actually make a shot. So good stuff there, trying to make a shot, a little too bold there. CT trying to work it through the defense. Ooga Booga taking that one right away, and now going straight away for that backboard play. No, the recovery though will be in. Softly it sails. 8-4, favoring Universe 7. Nice round 2 return for them. This is kind of an inverse of the score that we saw in round 1 at about the same time. With just a couple minutes left, it was 8-4 in round 1, but it was favoring Real Speed. So just a mirror match at this point, and Universe 7 doing a fantastic job. All right, so on this rollout here is going to sail past several different hands, so that's going to open up the goal for Octavius Rex. That's unfortunate for Universe 7. Had a chance to grab it, but oh, those overshoots, they will kill you. So right back to a 2-point match. And yeah, it still anyone's game. Still maintaining that mirror match. I mean, let's see. Universe 7 trying to react here and just wipe that one off the slate. Pretend it never happened and go at it again here. Less than 2 minutes remaining in round 2. And trying to eye a round 3 if you're Universe 7. Let's see, the passing play cut off nicely by Gold, and that's going to go right through the midfield. So now with a boost from Real Speed, which is their namesake after all, they could take a lead, but no, just missing some now. Might have to settle for a 2. Let's see, rebounded there. Won't find the shot though. Ooga Booga the takeaway, and that is a big defensive play, but they still get it back here for Real Speed. So one more drive at the goal, and that one will go. It's tied up 8 apiece here with 1 minute, 25 seconds left. And counting in the second round. So fantastic match so far, really neck and neck. Universe 7 being scored on twice in a row, however, so this time really needing to hunker down. The momentum starting to tangibly shift in the favor of Real Speed. There they are with a Real Speed, but look at that. Getting it over there to Matt. Matt needs to be careful, trying to find the pass to double, but no double. Double trouble on the stuns. The 2 divers going out, trying to keep their team alive and survive here in the second round. Let's see though. Dream trying to hand off that pass across. Will go right back to him. Anchoring down and a 3-point hit, and that is absolutely massive for Universe 7. super massive, in fact, and they're up by 3. This is looking like a round 3 potentially on the way. Real Speed has time, but just the same as round 1 with Universe 7. Now Real Speed in the position where they need to act very fast on a contested 3-point shot. They're going to need to go for those goalies rather quickly here. That's, of course, decided on whether they can get this first pass, these first couple passes through. Now that's going to be cut off here by Matt. Matt unable to get that first clear, but then slaps it out to the midfield. Just need to cover the goal at this point. No threes. And a big takeaway there from Dream. There you go. Keeping that Dream once again well and alive. Fun round. And that is 1 round for Universe 7. 1 round for Real Speed. We're going to the 3rd. How about that? All right, so as we go to the score screen, the highlights and all that good stuff, quick shout out once more to everyone joining us in there. See Goku in there. Welcome to it. Believe we're streaming you soon. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no, you're on this roster. That's right. You're just not on the active roster. There's the words. Knew you saw your name like just half an hour ago when I was looking through the list. Oh, there you go. We got Polyrath in there once more. We got a VP Sturburn with some Sharks X-Wing as well. So we got Sharks. We got a Moose. Meese. We got Wings. We got a lot of animal things. But you know what? This game has been wild in itself. Fun to watch. Moose saying want Universe to win so you guys can try and break the streak. Well, there you go. That's good ambitions. Good ambitions. Nothing else. Everyone wants to break the streaks. Right now, all of Echo Arena VRML in every region, there's 1 undefeated team for each one. Which, having even any undefeated team this late into the season is honestly fairly crazy. But having 1 in each region, I mean, in the Americas, you got Team Joker. Over in Europe, it's Team Gravity. And then over in OCE, it's Leviathan. So every region with their own undefeated team trying to reign supreme at the top, and always going to be a story. And of course, all the more intrigue, because once that loss finally happens, or is even at risk perhaps, it just makes for all the more entertainment on the streams and all the more intrigue. You know, who's going to do it? Can anyone do it is always a question. Now, if you're wondering why this intermission's a little bit delayed, it's because the teams did initiate a reset after the round ended, which means it's not a tech timeout or anything like that. It's just a, I guess, extended intermission, you can call it. But yeah, teams are allotted up to 5 minutes if they do wish. Checking the pings and such, doesn't seem to be any outstanding issues. 1 player with 100, but otherwise, could just be a matter of taking a breather, getting a drink, changing a battery, who knows. But just waiting to see how that plays out real quick. And on that note, let me, Shino's in there saying, who's caster? Palidore caster. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the stream. Real quick, I'm going to mute myself, so bear with the silence. Got to go typey something on Discord, and don't want you to hear the clickety-clack of my mechanical keyboard.
Team ready.
All right, there we go. X-Wing saying, after all this time, I haven't got a new keyboard. Well, I like my keyboard. In fact, that shot, they would have liked that. I like the keyboard. It's just a little bit noisy for cast, but otherwise, who doesn't love a good mech? Feels so good. Over here, though, it's CT with a disc. Round 3 about to start. Well, now started, that is to say, as it gets taken away by Dream. So Dream is going to go for that bottom clear, trying to avoid the defense. Now checking right behind for a leech. Nice job there from Dream once and twice, but got stunned, unfortunately, by CT. But I like the... You see, immediately once that disc was clear, what Dream did there was turn around, look for a player to grab. Didn't matter if it was an enemy, a friend, or otherwise, but right now can't defend that one. Very nice from Gold. Looks like Matt almost getting the save, but Real Speed, the first 2 points. But yes, going back to what Gold did here at the midfield, you see he was up here, he cleared it, immediately turned around. Didn't waste any time just watching the disc, you know, which does nothing really. Once he got that first glance. Didn't spend time watching this. He turned around, looked for someone to grab. He got the leech on the opponents, and he had the discipline to not punch them and risk getting stunned. Just the little things like that I always like to point out because it's such an important thing that's kind of subtle, but it makes such a massive difference. Now, on the other hand, we've seen this a few times from both of these teams now where they kind of hold on to this a little bit too long, trying to go for those stun moves while they're carrying the disc, but I don't think I've seen it successfully executed from either team yet. So definitely for both of these teams, when they're in their passing groove, or when they got those open shots. Either way, those are when they're at their best. That said, Octavius Rex, he's at his best. He's better than the Rex. But over here, trying to deal some damage, but instead being stunned and now being cleared. Again, there's Dream and Thevin trying to link up, but just the same, it's Rex in the back line with Gold. So both teams doing a good job trying to find their connections on the stack, not wasting too much time, keeping those APMs, those actions per minutes up. As we get Dream here, going up for the shot, rising up and tying up. 2 apiece here in the 3rd round. Now we do have once more the Alpha Protocol versus Lost match. That's happening, well, scheduled to start right about now. So what I was doing a moment ago in the intermission was just pinging the teams on Discord, letting them know that we can, if they're both wanting to wait, then I'll be there just a little bit late is all. But totally up to them, not required, of course, to wait for the caster if they're beyond the start time and such. So their call. But yeah, this one in the 3rd round now. 3 minutes expired just about as Real Speed and Gold there takes it over, sending it backwards to CT, who goes forwards, trying to look for maybe another long 3. Find some of that, jeez, some of that round 1 magic where he had, I think, both of those long heaves that just bounced right into the goal, right? He had at least one, maybe both of them. Goldfish brain, but either way, looking to reconnect on some of those, could not do so. Meanwhile, Eric Medina here, who's been great in the back line for Real Speed, getting the disc nice and calm and working it up the floor, all steady-like. Now it said bouncing around awkwardly here in the mid zone, so Dream is going to take that shot, recognizing the open goal, looking for a grab, maybe a rebound. That's going to be contested very nicely from multiple players here from Universe 7, just doing a great job. I gotta say, super impressed. I mean, Real Speed, I've already sung their praises in some of these streams, but for Universe 7, who, you know, again, they've only been around as a roster here for 3 or 4 weeks now. And so, therefore, I don't have as much to go by. But I got to say, in these couple of streams that I've done for them, they've done very, very well. That said, finding a very open well and flipping in the loose change. It's CT making a wish that they'll win this round 3. 4-2, 6 minutes left. The Moose saying, Palipog moment, later gamers. Stream delay. Yeah, if you're on mobile, there is a like 30-second to 1 minute delay, I think, depending. Kind of unavoidable, unfortunately. Does make it a little bit rough to interact sometimes. Over here, though, look at that nice pickup off that ramp. Still going to be stunned, but goes back to 00 will be taken here now by Dream. Now Dream's going to back it out and just make sure they have some space to maneuver. You know, not too clustered up where... Okay, well, if there was a time for that to work, it's here in round 3. So finally going for the drop disc and just smacking the opponent there in the face. An absolute haymaker. Nonetheless, doesn't get them a ton of forward progress, but maybe it just will. So after one more reset back to the bow tie, well, they're looking mighty fine and collected. Wearing that bow tie and looking right there for the 4-4, well, tie. I said tie way too much in that last bout. Anyways, less than 5 minutes left. It's tied up. There, did it again. Anyways, 4 apiece on this rollout. really ever since, I mean, the first round and the second round were basically inverses of each other, just about, especially the last couple of minutes. Scoring-wise, very similar differentials. And then, you know, in the earlier parts of these rounds, it's just been head-to-head, neck and neck. I mean, round 2 was also tied up, I think, at 2 apiece and 4 apiece, at 6 apiece at some point. This one looking like it might be the same, 4 apiece here. So really, if either team makes a decent late-game run just in the next minute or so, that, you know, 1 or 2 goals could very well be enough to start building some steam. And, oh, going for the dream instead, turning into a nightmare, but he don't care. 007. The 007, the agent, finding the disc, and that is Agent Orange, as Orange goes up by 3. Pouring it in off some pretty decent placement there on the feet. 7-meter 3 at that, worth noting. Interesting. You see those every once in a while. So that is a big 3. And right here, it's the big speed. That is the players trying to look for those cross passes and find something. But Universe 7 has been doing quite well on the defensive end. They're cutting off a lot of these midfield passing opportunities, just like that one. I mean, really playing aggressively and not giving Real Speed any time to just kind of breathe. You can see it there yet again. I mean, just doing an excellent job. Now, that said, the danger here, as they will lose a disc, was that it could have been a number situation, but Real Speed does lose it out to Dream on the stun. So Dream been doing a great job with those. And now taking a shot here, it's 00, and he's trying to go for that goal. Could have been some great ice for a 3-point shot. Still a few minutes left, and that one going to jut left outside the bubble and off that pole. Rebounded on the ceiling now by Ooga Booga. Has Dream available on the nest, but contested, but still getting some nice stuns. So Real Speed also trying to play some good defense, but there is a 00 doing some great work on the brawl to try and open up Dream for the drive-in, but still managing to maneuver through it and get a stun. Still yet going to float around here in the midfield and be retained by Ooga Booga now as a couple players for Real Speed start approaching. And at this point, especially, you know, another 30 seconds off this clock or so. I mean, you can see it unfolding here. Real Speed is going to be in a position where they're going to start feeling the heat a little bit, feeling that pressure, because, you know, they need to make some scores. They need to make it quickly. And if Universe 7 keeps playing the clock like they are right now, just playing this intercept in this pass game where they're just not letting it get to the orange zone, they're going to be in great position. That said, the pass, a bit off position, but the clear just as well. So, second opportunity, they need to go for a boost. A good stun there from Dream, of course, but still on course for a grab. It's gold, but gold. Getting wrangled and mangled there, and then back again for Eric Medina. So holding the disc, clutching it, looking for the available options, going for maybe a shot attempt, looking for that stun on the goalie, but Matt with a nice dive and swoop in for a steal. Real Speed will still maintain it, send it to the bottom here, and off the backboard. Could have been a great angled shot, still might be just yet as Ooga Booga contests and clear. Wow, the defense not letting up whatsoever, but now, talk about the mirrors, right? We saw Real Speed maintaining control a lot, or Universe 7 maintaining control a lot as, oh boy, little out of control. Oh boy, more out of control. Real Speed absolutely disheveled now from the universe, kind of fading in and out of different universes. So that is some unfortunate issues that are occurring. Those are some unfortunate issues because grammar, but regardless, hopefully they get their player back because they would hate to concede a goal based off of some really awkward interactions. We're seeing some of that there, but that said, it's going to be grabbed here. So I think with that craziness hopefully out of the way, no harm done necessarily. That said, Real Speed does once more need to get some points going. They need a 3. If another few seconds gets wasted off this clock, they're going to need to just go for a 3 at this point. So let's see. Stun coming in hot from Ooga Booga. That's going to be slapped out to the trench and eventually taken by Gold. Gold looking for that deep clear, going to bounce from the cloud and then right back to the pocket of the tunnel area. And cleared here. 23 seconds, so, oh boy, once more. I mean, now they're going to need to act with some supreme urgency. Need to send a player over there to the goalie, essentially. No choice at this point. Need to get someone boosted fast. 9 seconds, trying to go for a shot. Hail Mary time, is it going to be? Gold getting stunned. One more heave, though. Needs to go for the 3, and that's off. It's saved, and it's out the way. It's Universe 7. They maintain their record. They maintain their impressiveness, and they will wipe the sweat off the forehead as they take it in the third round. What a match and what a nervous finish that was. Wow. All right. Well, 7-4. And I'll take you to the stat screen real quick. Won't be able to linger too long because we do have our next stream waiting for us. So take a look at your stats. Fantastic game, but like I said, we're about 10 minutes behind on the other one, so I will need to mute myself and reorganize. But props to these teams. Universe 7, like I said, didn't know exactly what to expect. I mean, I streamed them. This is my third time I've streamed them. I streamed them their first match and now their last two. They are really showing some stuff here late in the season, gotta say. Real speed, though. Like I said, never going to take away anything from them because they've been impressive all season long as well. But anyways, I'll be RB with your next match. All right, everybody, welcome back to VRML Season 2, Week 8. And what a strong game that was we just ended on there. Like I said, I didn't want to dwell too long because these teams were waiting for me here with Alpha Protocol and Lost. But yeah, that Real Speed Universe 7 match, mwah, good. Excellent, in fact. Pleasure to watch, pleasure to cast. Fun match there, round 3, down to the wire, and multiple rounds. Great stuff. You know what else is great? We got some more games here. This one, a challenge match, in fact, between Alpha Protocol here on orange and Lost over on blue. So here we go. First round underway. First joust. Going to go right into the bubble and back out again. See those quick ones off those headbutt plays oftentimes, and teams just getting so very fast. Now over here it's going to be grabbed by Burnsy. Burnsy going to walk it up, or send it up, that is to say, trying to meet the hands there perhaps of Porker, but unable to find it. So that's going to be a clear into the intercept actually by Salty Crackers. Now Salty sending it over to Burnsy here at the bow tie, trying to send it to Gunslinger. Oh, nice move there. That reaction was fantastic from Gunslinger. That was some, just, like, look at the replay here. Grabs it, but immediately diverts around that post to give no time. Look at that. I mean, that was as quick as a bullet, fittingly, of a Gunslinger. So, 2 points here go in their favor as they launch out here. Offense for Deathhawk now underway. So Death walking it up, whirling it around his back and trying to look for that bounce pass play. Going to bounce a few different ways, but not into the hands of his teammate, unfortunately. That said, making up for it, lost precision with some stuns, getting a double stunned, in fact. Now Outcast over there to the sidewall, trying to find Death once more. Now Hawk stunning Porker. And going over for the disc now, Death retaining. All right, so Death will walk it up the floor, some positioning out here, but some pretty good defense overall. You can see playing aggressively on the QB as well as some of those passing lanes. Immediately on the boost, though. We'll get there, and that's going to be very close to the goal, just edging right out that corner as Akator does take it over. Now there's an impending couple players there on defense, so he does need to kind of force that somewhere. Didn't really have a great angle on the back pass because of that Pac-Man Geo. Meanwhile, Salty Cracker is trying to find a clear, gets it through one player but not the other, and Deathhawk taking it here at the bow tie. You can see lost precision as well over there by the goal, just contesting Salty over and over, or trying to at least. And I can see Akator trying to be patient with it, but didn't have anywhere to go. Was doing a good job not panicking too much as he saw that the goalie was not in fact stunned as he initially thought on that initial drive. But yeah, a lot of brawls going through, but then no passing options. Still though, will be received here by Lost, and they're going to go right back to the midfield and right back to the bounce. Let's see, almost a perfect delivery, just mishandled slightly, but Outcast going to tap off and then tap out and in for the goal. Outcast Gamer ties it up. That's 2 apiece. And nice moves from Outcast, kind of doing similar there to what Gunslinger did on the other side, right? Where immediately collected the disc, but not wasting any time, you know, to allow teams, the defense to read him. Just immediately tapping off the Geo once, tapping off twice, getting the goal. Just staying mobile, staying agile, and staying unpredictable is the big thing. That said, getting stunned out there. Outcast Gamer now getting the disc and looking for a deep heave there to maybe pull up by 2 points or 3 points once more if they can. Deathhawk with the disc here again, handling it from the outside and doing a pretty good job just maintaining the control. Now looking for his teammates as they start to close in on that bubble and looking for the avenues to open. So there's Burnsy ducking through is Deathhawk, but then right back again. So some jukey maneuvering, now just ping-ponging. Maybe 3 times too many there as he does get stunned by the defense eventually. Again, talk about unpredictability. Definitely tricky on the first couple of jukes, but you go for it too many times, and that's usually when you're starting to test the waters a little bit too much, where defenses will start to adapt and react. That said, Salty Crackers going up to the shoulder. Porker there couldn't get the wrangle on the disc, and there's also defense the way from Akator. Nice stuns and nice shields from Akator, doing a good job there. Really dealing with the physicality, the aggression. Oh, I'm just noticing that. Sorry about that. The round wins were not reset. They now are. That said, almost the goal being settled into. Will bounce off the pole a couple times. Thanks for pointing that out. That's strange. Usually it does reset, but sometimes it just doesn't. Who knows? Who knows? Over here, though, Deathhawk. Oh, he knows that the goal is open, and he eyes it like a hawk. There's Hawk Eye, and that is a deadly shot. Getting it by for the 3-point lead, 5-2, 5:27 remaining here in this match, in this round, that is to say, first round. Shout out as well, see Derek in there, Strider, Feeder, and Zenani. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you guys here on the stream. Tipsy as well. Outcast Gamer with a disc, making the offense tipsy after that stun. Now the goal is being covered off here as it will be grabbed by Akator. Akator is going to send it over to the bow tie again, trying to work it down middle. There's 2 defenders there and putting an end to that drive. So a little bit dangerous there, driving into 2 defenders at the nest. Obviously, you know, teams well aware and of their positioning and trying to go for those plays down the middle when they can, since it does offer you some nice shooting angles. That said, Burnsy taking this disc and now backing it out, kind of waiting for his team to hopefully join or find a stack or something of the sorts. And they might just have it. They do. Look at that. Beautiful job there from Burnsy and from Porker. Because you see when Burnsy got that disc over in midfield, instead of an immediate clear or something kind of rush, he took it back into the tunnel, you know, backed it out, held the disc for a second. He looked to the side to see kind of where his teammates were at and gauge the situation. And then once they had one player boosting down the floor, just sent it. Turned what would have been a clear in most situations into actually a more calculated assist, you know, something with intention. And that bought them the very nice goal there, one-on-one. So that said, Burnsy going back for another one, and now they're up by 1. Alpha Protocol. And that is according to protocol, apparently, because they are now picking up that efficiency the last minute or two. And also, yes, correct to... Saw someone ask a little earlier. This is a... Oh, well, there you go. We even have more time to talk about it because a restart just happened. So some undetermined issue. But I was going to say, yes, this is a challenge match that was issued. Now, who issued it to who? I'm not really sure, but this is a challenge match. That is correct. Each teams do get one challenge match per week, optional, where they can challenge other teams if they accept. And by all accounts, it's basically the same as your weekly assigned matches. It's just you can kind of choose your opponents within a certain MMR range is how it works. So optional thing, but for those who love the game and are just feeling that competitive fire and want to get as many matches as they can per week, hence the challenge matches there for those teams. Now, yeah, not seeing anything too strange on the ping end of things quite yet. Haven't got anything in League org, so your guess is as good as mine on what's going on. But nonetheless, looking like, all right, there you go. Whatever the issue was did not last too long, fortunately. So going back to the first round, it's 6-5, favoring the side here of Alpha. Now, that said, they may have not placed the disc in the correct spawn location, which is not an uncommon thing, really. In fact, it's pretty frequent. Hard to remember all the different things to reset sometimes. But nonetheless, over here it's going to be taken here by Deathhawk, and they're going to work in their offense now, it would seem. So no harm done at the end of things as Death works it up the floor. You can see Deathhawk has often been the initiator. That time just being stunned. That's some rough initiation into the bubble. But good defense being shown from Lost. So working down the floor now with some light boost, but a stronger one, in fact, coming in from some orange players there. And now they're going to get maybe an opportunity based off this, but couldn't make the grab. Lost Precision now trying to grab it back, but slapping it down as Porker. Just hoping that they find a teammate somewhere in the area, but only finding Akator. Goes for a behind-the-back fling right into the lane with two midfielders in it. And right back again, so another one, Salty Crackers now overtaking it, just well positioned in the midfield. Always tough when you clear it down those angles, and will be taken now by Gunslinger. But yeah, those midfield clears, because comparative to the tunnels, you just got less space to work with. There's more geo in the way. A lot tougher on those midfield clears. That said, Porker, oh, he's in the clear for a 3. Flying by for the 4-point lead now. Nice job here. Alpha Protocol. That's, I believe, 3 goals in a row for them now. In these last several minutes of play. Looking good. Strider asking who called a timeout earlier. Not sure. As of this moment, spectators are unfortunately not informed who presses the restart button first. That said, it's supposed to be added into the next API update soon, TM. Where we'll be able to see that. But for the moment, I have no idea, unless I happen to see it myself. Now, Porker just sees the open goal thanks to the stun from Burnsy. Putting the goalkeeper there in the burn unit. Knocking him out, and just a nice 16 meter per second shot. Will slide right through. That makes 4 goals in a row now for Alpha Protocol. Really, really just starting to build up that momentum, that snowball. You can tell that they're feeling very good, and you can kind of see that momentum in effect, especially on these rollouts. It seems like for one team, everything goes their way. Another team, everything goes against them in terms of the bounces, the minor grazing of the geo. There's another goal now from Porker this time. That's 13-5. So out of seemingly nowhere, the second half of this first round, absolutely lighting a match under their feet, and they are coming off hot. Looking to take this first round. So there you go. Now that said, a stun, there you go on the launch. Like I said, seems like all the little things, right? Going in for another one. That's a 10-point lead all of a sudden. That one credit to Burnsy there. Made that score happen so fast, the UI didn't even have time to pop up again.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so yeah, at this point, as Trimmin says in there, it's pretty much just a matter of on to the next round. It would not be the first time this season, for that matter, as that shot goes in. for Burnsy. Would not be the first time, though, this season. For that matter, it wouldn't be the first time this week or in the last 2 days that we see, you know, dramatic differences in second rounds. Once you have that opportunity to, you know, just to reset the mentality, take a breather, get a drink, and look at a scoreboard that looks much nicer, you know, 0-0. So, very, very strong opening round for sure for Alpha here. 17-5. And round 2, you know, again, it's going to be up to Lost to regather, you know, Lost to find their stability, but it's also going to be up to Alpha Protocol to actually maintain that kind of strength, you know, that not letting off the gas, as is a thing people see, you know, all too many times. It's just a reality of games. It's a reality of sports. It's very, very tough sometimes sticking to a certain level of, you know, aggression and execution if you do get way ahead at some point and then you start feeling too loose. We see it a lot. So it's kind of a mix of both. Both teams have some big responsibilities if they want round 2 to go their way. So we shall see. We shall see. But meanwhile, for the first round, what we do see is a super nice output there from Porker, 9 points, 1 assist. You have Burnsy with 6 points, 3 assists in there. Salty Crackers with a 1 apiece of the assists, saves, and steals department, and then Gunslinger with a couple of points. You have on the other side 3 points for Deathhawk and 2 points for Outcast Gamer. And with that said, round 2 about to be underway. Let's see what it provides. And just like last time around in that great match we had between Real Speed and Universe 7, we're hoping for that third round. We'll see where they go with it. They're just going to go for that headbutt play at first. Going to be delivered beautifully, and a very tough shot. Almost a gorgeous rollout play, but that was a incredibly tough angle. I mean, the margins for error on that were just basically just minuscule. Had to search for the word, but right now searching for the disc. Gunslinger just going to be hit instead by Lost Precision. So contesting this one and trying to get off to a good start if they can for Lost. There's Outcast Gamer trying to send it off that corner. No doubt on purpose, trying to find either that bounce angle or even a pass, because otherwise that straight shot was going to be unlikely. But will just be taken right out and slung back to the blue zone. So a lot of players coming up all on it. Oh, but losing out off the shield there. The catapult shield, that is, as they go out and try to roll for a clear play. Now, a little bit of a risk there. You saw they had 2 backliners there. I think preparing for a clear and boost perhaps, but that said, a very great grab. A nice save from Akator. Definitely needed that one, but can they do it again is the question. The anchor, the jukes, and the oops. There's 2 points favoring Alpha Protocol to start off round 2. So I was going to say on that play earlier, so I believe they were going for Lost, that clear and boost play. They had 2 players already ready to stack up. They had that 1 player QBing here up front, kind of ready to eye the clear, but at the same time, because of the positioning and how long or how far out that the defense was, it was kind of a risky move to go for that as opposed to just a slow workup with some back passing or, you know, shorter range passes and things like that. So something to look out for. But that said, they're going to have a good chance here now on offense once more to maybe tie it up. Looking for a double clutch and tough angle off that backboard, but some good positioning here from Lost is going to get them the disc right back. Once again, anytime you're on offense and you can position yourself out, you know, on every lane, left, right, and center. It gives you a good chance to rebound, but maybe holding onto the disc a little too long there. So again, some of these kind of unnecessary risks not paying dividends here for Lost. They're going to get stunned now and gets back to Porker, but a good punch coming in from Deathhawk. Able to retain and, you know, once again, like, see, had maybe some 2 back pass options, but kind of eyeing the clear instead. And now it's going to go for a 3, and Porker making them pay 5 points in round 2. So, yeah, again, there's some good-looking things in terms of the rollout, that first launch rollout, the boost. I mean, good things from Lost, but I think on some of these occasions they're playing a little too bold or aggressively with some of these plays. They end up losing the disc, whereas, say, a pass to one of the players at their flank or even just parallel, you know, to them, you know, would be much more conducive to maintaining control, because that's kind of where it's getting lost, I suppose. Pardon that pun, because that one wasn't actually intentional. But you know, that's where it's getting a little bit frazzled for them, is looking too much ahead and not enough behind or to the sides. But that being said, only down by 5 points. There's a lot of time for them to come back here with a good grab. There's from Outcast. So Outcast will try and cast out the disc, but unsuccessful on that one. So reeling it back in. Now Deathhawk taking it away. And that's going to be another work up the floor here. But you kind of see a third or fourth time in a row, right, where they had maybe a back pass, and they're obviously going for clear and boost. I mean, this is part of the game plan. They're going for those stacks, but the problem is these clears are either being bounced around everywhere or they're getting intercepted frequently. So I think that's where maybe a strategy change needs to happen here for them to come back, because you know they're not out of it whatsoever. This is a very easily comebackable situation, but the disc is just getting stuck on this side of the field so much is the problem. And as we all know with offenses, you give them a few opportunities at a goal, they're very, very likely to convert on one of them if they miss the first one or two. So let's see, that one getting through successfully. Now if they can get those boosts together, see if they can get something going. Will be some players overshooting for the side of orange of Alpha. But now kind of a rush clear on their part. So, you know, same kind of thing where they had maybe a reset available. But instead, they kind of go for that midfield clear where they didn't necessarily need it. And therefore, it goes back into the arms of Lost. So Lost Precision will take that disc going up to the ceiling. And diving out for it. It's going to be taken there by Outcast, but having it taken down by Burnsy. Nice snag there as a few just jostles for position here from these players. Go out. Deathhawk there, getting the goal, or the disc rather, with a lot of time to spare. So once again, a game of control if they can, but look at that control on those regrabs and that speed. Blink of an eye, they were already there to assault that Deathhawk and just take the disc back, and they're going to have a walk-in goal. As a result, it's a Gunslinger. That is 7 points here, thus far shutting out the side of Lost. See, Cruisin' in there, by the way, and catch up on some of the chat. Cruisin' asking, craziest new strat I've seen from these teams, just in general. It's a tough one to answer on the fly. One of the things you see a lot more often from newer teams, rookie teams this season, you do see them with full rosters, 6-man rosters, and I do see a lot of teams actually switching out players between rounds, not just because of tech-related things. So sometimes it's just like it's part of the game plan, you'll see. All right, now going for the 2-point shot off that boost. It's 9 points here for Alpha Protocol. Now, all 4 players getting back into the goal and finding it exposed. But yeah, I've seen a lot of those kind of switching out of players. I've seen kind of, not that it's the most recommended strategy, but I've seen some interesting variations of permagoalie, or permagoalies at times. Over here we have Salty Crackers now with the clear going through to the midline. But yeah, I mean, as far as rollouts, nothing sticks out at the top of my head, aside of the fact that we've seen plenty of teams utilizing those headbutt plays, and kind of same as the Master Division, really, where they have very precise headbutt rollouts. We saw that from this team here. I don't know, it's a good question, but one to ponder, I guess, in my non-casting time, so I can answer that more in depth later. But over here, Burnsy and Salty Crackers trying to get that disc back. They get it up to Porker. Porker is going to find that crossover to the corner, but being cornered by Lost Precision, and the clear unsuccessful, so by the floor will be taken back by Gunslinger, finding the pass up high there to the Steezy move, almost going for that shoulder anchor. We've seen that from a few players in the past, and trying to get it past the goalkeeper, but unable to find anything at the moment. Burnsy now taking that disc over. Talk about goalies. I mean, 3 of them in there, all diving out now, but will not be converted on the shot. 2 minutes and 37 seconds left, so time is definitely winding down here in this round, and going to be very, very tough on a comeback at this point. Not impossible, but just not really the momentum, not really in the favor here. For Lost, not able to get that offensive rhythm going at this point. And you can see Porker now just bouncing it around, trying to bait up the defense and waste a few seconds here and there. And every time you do that, even just 5 seconds, 10 seconds at a time, that definitely adds up, especially when you're up by multiple goals and this late into a match. So the clock management, definitely a big thing. Now right here, Akator trying to find what would have been a big 3-point hit for them, much needed. They still have another chance at it. There's a pass back out to the midfielder, a bit strong, but Deathhawk will be there to receive it. So working up the floor now, so positioning very good here from Lost. Complimented them on that earlier, and it still maintains true. I mean, you can see, that's why I tell you to prioritize positioning, because even if your passes mess up the first time, you'll usually have someone else on the other end to recover it, even if it misses its first target. So that's why having someone on kind of every side of the arena is important when you're on offense. So trying to work that through. The positioning, once again, good. They've got that square forming. They're trying to work it into the bubble, but being squared out and squared up by the stuns. And that's going to be slung into the backfield where Akator does maintain. Now Akator trying to feed his player, trying to go for the anchor 3, but still the court not being able to be taken off. Finally, the shot. Not going to stop on that attempt. It's Deathhawk driving it home with the cleanup. Took them a lot of persistence, but they got their goal. 1 minute left, and it's a 7-point advantage here, favoring Alpha on orange.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so that said, Burnsy rolling out here, and pretty much this round and match in the books at this point, regardless of what happens. And that rollout almost pretty nicely placed into the hands of that deep liner. And, oh no, Porker again. That's the second time he's done that move, and that's the second time that it's paid off. The anchor fake into the wind around goal from the back to the front. So good stuff from Porker. Just ending it with one more clever maneuver, and round 2 will end here, and there will be a sweep on the series, favoring the side of Alpha Protocol. Just looking altogether very strong, and like I said, as far as a loss goes, they've definitely shown some good promise and good maneuvers in terms of their stacks. Their stacks were good. Their positioning was good when they did get in the offense. It was just more so the lack of back passes and some of the clears kind of bouncing back. So basically, whatever good things they might have had going with their stack, it was undone by the disc not really being cleared into the places they wanted it to go, and ended up being intercepted or turned over. Stuff like that, which is honestly easily fixable. So for the side of Lost, it's not really a big worry long term or anything, but just something to study the footage over and kind of address. If the clear and boost not working, well, okay, let's go for some more lateral passes or back passes, things like that. So, a lot of good things, a lot of things you can take away from it, though. Now, 1 second, 9-2 of the score, 11-2. See, when I talk too much, sometimes I forget to note the score. It was 11-2. There we go. All right, so I'll bring you to the highlight screen, and that will be it for this stream. We do have another 20-some minutes, 24 minutes until I'll be casting another match here. And Sir Dimwee, actually, and So Much for Subtlety will be casting on Channel 1, Ding versus Invictus. So that's coming up at the top of the hour over on Channel 1, if you guys want to go check that out. I'll be here on Channel 2 streaming and casting the debut of Girlettes versus Shrunk. Hopefully going to be a Strunk match. But yes, so stat sheet, shall we? Will be 16 points for Porker. High score by a pretty good margin. 16 points, 1 assist, 1 save, 40 stuns, also leading the stun department. Very nice stat line for him. Got Burnsy with 8 points and 4 assists, so devastating on offense, but also willing to share the cookie a little bit. Pass that disc around. He had Salty Crackers with 3 assists, so same kind of thing there. 2 saves and 2 steals as well. Zig Gunslinger with 4 points, 1 assist, 1 save, 1 steal, and 38 stuns. So filling up every category for Gunslinger. Just the same. Over on the side of Lost, it was Akator with 2 assists and 4 saves, so good defense being shown. Had some really nice grabs in there. Deathhawk with 5 points, leading the way for his team, and 1 save, as well as 2 steals. Lost Precision had a save, a steal, and 27 stuns. And then Outcast Gamer had a couple points, 1 save, 1 steal, and 38 stuns. Nearly matching that stun total from Porker on the other end with his own punches in bunches. All right. So with that being said, trying to catch up and make sure I didn't miss anything on chat. Also, quick reminder, if you do happen to have stuff throughout streams you want me to make sure I read, you can always highlight those messages with your channel points. One of the few things that you can use your channel points for, I suppose. But I think I covered. Let's see. Rinks saying Porker used to be known as the Red Rider. I do remember that. I didn't know that. I thought they were two separate people. Interesting. Good to know, though. Very good to know, in fact. People talking about borked controllers today. Hopefully that's not a thing. And yeah, Cruisin responding earlier to the whole thing about switching out players between rounds, you know, with those full rosters. Yeah, that's definitely one of the longer-term things I'm interested in seeing if it becomes a thing. I think for that to become a thing, Echo still, like, competitively, we still need more, I guess, growth in the sense that, you know, not growth, stability, that's the one. You need to see, like, stability in the ladders, and I think a little bit more time, and a little bit more streamlining maybe on the Echo end of things. Like, because right now the way it's handled, obviously, you have to basically consciously say, okay, you leave this round, or leave this server right now, and then we have to get our other player in and invite them, but we have to do that, you know, before the time runs out, and this, you know, it's a little bit tough to manage. So I think if that's streamlined in the future, and then as we see these teams continue to improve, add stability to their rosters, and you know, the competition is pretty much, you know, solid, you know, top to bottom and things like that, I think you will generally start to see more of that happen, where you get some active roster switches and change-ups. I mean, pretty much things that exist in real-life traditional sports are rarely a surprise to see eventually make its way into Echo, because there's just way too many parallels for that stuff not to translate over fairly well. So I kind of expect to see it at some point, but, you know, I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I think it's very, very interesting, though, to think about is all. But, yeah. Anyway, Swag War, who were the lovely casters? Just I, Palidore. Yeah, casting and camming this one for these last two matches. I may have some more casters joining me for the later matches in the evening over on Channel 2. And then on Channel 1 here, you will have, at the very least, Sir Dimwee and So Much for Subtlety casting and camming the matches here in about 20 minutes. Rox Titan will be joining, at least for one match later on, Kangarillas versus Synapse. That's not for another 2.5 hours, though. And yeah, so we shall see. But anyway, I think that'll do it for me, so I'm going to go get set with the next streams starting shortly. Until then, I've been Palidore. This has been VRML Season 2, Week 8. Thank you for joining me. Be happy, healthy, safe, and good to each other. And I'll see you again, hopefully, very, very soon.